morning, everyone. How are we all doing today? And the audio has shit itself. Fuck! No! I was sat there saying to Bibi, I wonder if it's going to fix itself because I've not closed everything down. Because I thought I may have fixed it the other day. I haven't. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, so yes, I pray.
Yeah, fun times.
That's my input for today.
BRB! Good morning, everyone. For the first time, ish. Let me just set the audio. We are fixed. Nice. How are we all doing? Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and my audio works. Nice. This time. Fuck! The worst thing about that audio breaking is not the fact that it's a bit of a pain for us to restart the stream and you guys have to sit there for another 20 seconds or whatever. It's the fucking bullshit of Windows updates missing a full episode of The Scoop this week because it took so long to rebuild fucking Streamlabs and everything after that. And it's still shit. So yeah, Streamlabs is dead. I'm moving to OBS. Do you know what? I don't give a feck if I have to reprogram all of my Stream Deck and rebuild all of my profiles. And I have 3 profiles because I've got the main Ice Cream Upload stream profile. I have when we do Master League stuff profile, and then I have got a profile for when we stream over on Insert Coin. So I've got 3 profiles, 3 Stream Deck profiles. Fuck it, I'm doing it all because I can't be asked with this fucking audio. But anyway, how are we all doing? Good morning. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day. This is the man that we call Bib. And we're all here for you guys. Nice. I won't do the intro just yet because, Bib, how's things?
Yes, very, very good. I'm 95% sure Streamlabs OBS is just built within OBS anyway, and it's just like a subsidiary program. I'm fairly certain if you export what you've got, you can then just reload into OBS and then just fix potentially whatever's broken. Yeah. So it could just be that you end up doing a test stream, like me and you'll do a test stream for 2 hours where we're just waffling shit, and then we just tweak it on the go.
Yeah, I mean, most of it is in there. I have OBS installed because I wanted to test, I only tested to see what the differences in processing power was. I think it used to be a case of, like, Streamlabs OBS was a massive drain on your resources, whereas OBS was quite light, whereas actually they're pretty similar now. So I'd thought, there's no point, I'm not going to bother with it at that point in time. But, yeah, I can transfer it. It does lose out a lot of the minor details. So, like, things like putting things in folders, I do when I'm grouping my sources. So, like Bibi's camera on stream, for example, you can see Bibi just there. I have a folder called Discord Cam, and in that Discord Cam folder, I have 2 elements. I have the frame that goes around Bibi and Bibi's camera. So if I minimize that now, or get rid of that, it gets rid of both at once. Fine. That didn't used to be in OBS. It is now. They have something called groups, I think is what they call it now, or something like that. So that stuff's in there, but it's not the same work. So I'd have to package all that stuff up and then link all of those different things up, reset up every one of my Stream Deck buttons. So it is a chore, but do you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. I mean, OBS is the way to go at the moment anyway. Streamlabs OBS is good because I can link it through to Streamlabs and control all of my alerts and do the spin wheel stuff and everything on there in stream. But you know, I use that once a month. There's not. Get out of here.
Best thing that ever happened was Streamlabs OBS not working on my PC. It just decided to not work one day, and I was like, do you know what? Fuck this shit, I'm out. And then just made an OBS profile, and then I was good to go. And I've never looked back. It's just everything's so much better. It feels like it's got a lot less resources as well, which I imagine is probably correct because it doesn't have all the chatbot and all that shit, all the plugins and all the things in the background firing. at any given time.
Nested scenes are great as well, says Return of the Mac. What's a nested scene? I don't know what a nested scene is. Because I have a bunch of scenes, but I don't know what nesting them is. So yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different scenes, and each scene can have 30 odd resources kind of thingy. So yeah, I don't know. You can import a scene as a single source. Okay, I need to know what this is, because I mean, the way I have it all set up as well is hugely complex, and it might not even be the best way of doing it resource wise. It's good because it's super flexible for me, but it might not be the best way. But anyway, good morning, Lake, who was in nice and early. Good morning, Gagad says good afternoon, gents. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Apologies for the late start this morning. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, but because of coronavirus, you don't go into the surgery. They ring you, but they don't give you a set time, which I find absolutely bizarre. You go to a doctor's, and it's like, okay, you need to be there at 10. I mean, you're not going to get seen till half 10 because, that's just the way it works. But it's not even that. It's a case of, we're going to ring you tomorrow at some point. So as we were getting set for the scoop, Bibby messaged me saying, I'm good to go. And I was like, I'm not, because I was on the fucking phone with the doctor. But then they had to go off and then ask some questions and then come back and ring me back again. So yeah, wasn't really. I was just having a massive turd, and that's just a big story that I've just thrown out to cover it up. But yeah, so you edit a single scene and you can change everything. Have you got any links or anything? Drop us a link. Drop me a link, because if I am going to move over to OBS, I would use that as an opportunity to streamline things, because do you know what, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me rebadge my Chrome source for a minute to that. There we go. So if I show you my Chrome source, boop, there you go. You can see I have all of these different scenes that do similar things, and then I have all of these different sources that do different things, and these are the sources that I have, and I have animations and stuff in there, which is shitloads of animations and labels which aren't being used, and so on. So I have a shitload of stuff in there. So if I can minimize that but keep the same functionality, then that's good for me. Anyway, enough of the tech stuff. I do like a good setup stream, but that's not what this is. This is the scoop. My name is Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is the scoop. I just said that, but it's fine. I'll say it again. Anyway, we are here to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. We do this each and every single weekday live on Twitch, because we want to give you guys the UK's #1 video games podcast. Some people say that those people are us, but that's what we're here for. So if you guys are with us live on Twitch, as mentioned, I want to give you our thoughts and impressions, but we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. If you are in the chat, please feel free to get involved, because we turn this live stream into a podcast, a video for YouTube, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. So we have loads of different places for people to watch and listen on demand later on. So if you are watching and listening on demand right now, hi, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
If you're on YouTube, do you know what? Click the click the like button. Do it nice. Maybe even if you're watching YouTube, do you know what, a challenge? If you're watching on YouTube, just write something in the comments below. Just write something daft, because when we come and look at it and someone's just written like banana hammock, and you're like, what the fuck? Just do it now. But yeah, if you are watching, listening live, please feel free to get involved on behalf of those people that are writing banana hammock in the chat, because they can't get involved with us live here right now, but they do get to write banana hammock. So, swings and roundabouts. Anyway, before we jump into the show, first things first, ! Loot drop in the chat. If someone could just type that for me, that would be very much appreciated. That's just to remind you guys that if you're a sub, make sure you're in the Discord, because if you're not in our Discord, you could be missing our prize draw, our monthly prize draw for subscribers, where you could win a prize. So make sure you're in there. Nice. Thank you very much for that, Lake. Much appreciated. Anyway, let's jump into the split screen. How's things, babe? Did you get up to any games last night? What we're saying?
Yesterday, I played State of Decay for maybe an hour and a half after City's gargantuan win against Aston Villa. I nearly forgot entirely who it was that we played last night. So we are now apparently 8 points away from winning the league. That is, if United don't fuck up along the way. So yeah, played State of Decay for maybe an hour and a half, and then went to bed because I was knackered. I mean, we spoke about this yesterday, me and you. I haven't been playing that many games in the evening. anymore. It feels like after I've finished doing my work and we finished streaming in the afternoon, I've been out and I played golf. I come in, I've had my tea, and I just want to chill and watch TV with the wife. Like, is this what getting old feels like?
Back in my day, we used to.
Is this what it feels like?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm pretty much there as well at the moment. But no, I usually would. It gets to like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I'd fire up the PlayStation and just stick PUBG on or something like that. Play a few games of PUBG, do my dailies and stuff like that. But the fact that PUBG has a break in its season passes, I've gone, do you know what, I'm going to use this as a chance to just step away from PUBG, play some other games. And other than playing the games on stream, I've not been playing games. So I don't know. Maybe it coincides with the sun existing for a little bit. So I've been outside using the sun. Went for like a 6-kilometer walk yesterday. So there's a little bit of that too. Good morning, Garlic Clark, who's lurking at the back of the ice cream van. Morning, lads. How's it going?
I don't know what it is. Like, sometimes this happens. Sorry, I think there's a bit of a lag again.
Mega delay. Okay, one second. Boop. And then boop. I'll read.
Hello.
There we go. We're up to speed again. Nice. Sorry, what were you saying? You said this happens every time, and then
yeah. So it's I was saying every now and again where I just play games all the time every evening. Blah 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 blah.
That was freaky as fuck.
But now can't be bothered.
That was freaky as fuck. You glitched out on my screen, and you just looked like you were like being electrocuted or something like that. What?
Maybe I have.
Rip, not happy this morning. Is that audio? That's not. I don't think that was audio. I think that was like maybe connection, like Discordy kind of stuff. Before I move on, let me just do a quick speed test, because for those of you who don't know, there's all sorts of issues going on behind the scenes at the moment. So I have the audio stuff, which is a Streamlabs issue, I think, or a microphone issue. I know my connection's still decent. So yeah, I don't know. But Discord sometimes shits the bed, and it looked like it did that then. Do you know what? Actually, we'll move ahead. Me and Babe haven't played much games, but we'll talk to you about all of the games. That's what we're here for. So I'll jump straight into some news, because the longer we are on for, the more chance it has of going to shit. So we'll probably try speed through this show just to get this show up, because it already looks like it's going to be a little bit of a difficult slog. Anyway, the first news story of the day. Does anyone in the chat play Warzone? Anyone a Call of Duty person? Anyone play Warzone? Well,
maybe.
You may have seen there was a lot of content on Call of Duty last night. Let me change that back to... I can't find it. Nope. There we go. It's because I changed my Chrome browser source to the one to show the Streamlabs window. I couldn't show it, but now we can. Tom Ivan at VGC says Warzone servers struggle, just like Graham's PC is doing this morning, as Verdansk is finally nuked. So Black Ops Cold War and Modern Warfare services were also disrupted. Call of Duty Warzone servers are struggling as players attempt to join the Battle Royale title to experience a major in-game event. Operation Rapid Sunder, which is ushering Season 3, and a major map revamp kicked off at 8 p.m. BST today, which was last night, 8 p.m. last night. As first reported by VGC in February, the end of Black Ops Cold War and Warzone Season 2 will see the game finally transition to its new map. As you can see in the video below, today's event has seen Warzone's Verdansk map nuked, similar to how Fortnite used an in-game event to transition to Chapter 2. Footage of the new map was recently revealed. Let me just click this play button here. So footage of the new map was recently revealed in a live-action advert for Warzone Season 3, which appeared to confirm that the updated battleground will be an evolution of Verdansk rather than an entirely fresh design. The trailer suggests that 1980s Verdansk will feature a mix of new locations, redesigned areas, and some which will simply receive a visual refresh. I don't want to go down too far because we're going to see the nuke hit the stadium. Boom. It's actually the fire station. I think they've got hit. I know that's a fire station because I've fallen down the ladder to my death in that twice. Fun times. True story. True story. It shows Cold War era landmarks replacing Verdansk's own point of interest, including an in-construction stadium, an aqueduct replacing the dam, airport, TV station, and downtown can also be spotted with a 1980s makeover. It's also likely Raven Software will take the opportunity to add some quality of life improvements to Verdansk, such as making the areas flow better and look more visually distinct. Activision is currently investigating connectivity issues impacting several Call of Duty games. Warzone, Black Ops Cold War, and Modern Warfare are all affected by the online problems. According to the Call of Duty Online status website, Warzone and Modern Warfare services are suffering outages while Black Ops Cold War services are limited on all platforms. Quote, we're actively investigating an issue with long wait times in the server queue for #Warzone, which is funny enough because they didn't call it Call of Duty Warzone there, they just called it Warzone, which was the name that's been sued for. Anyway, the Activision support Twitter account acknowledged at 8:13 p.m. BST last night. Stay tuned for updates. Activision claimed on Tuesday that Warzone has attracted over 100 million players since launching in March 2020. And on Wednesday, the publisher said over 400 million Call of Duty Premier games have now been sold since the first one released in October 2003. We don't need to wrap up with the last line. We get the gist, but Call of Duty Warzone has its biggest change today as Verdansk, the map that everyone that's played the game has been run out in, has finally been nuked after we first got the leaks of it a couple of months ago. Bib, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is massive for Call of Duty. I think, I don't want to say they're taking a page out of the Fortnite playbook, but it was highly successful for Fortnite. How many people was watching their Chapter 2 Black Hole stream for, was it 3 days? They had more people probably watching it than they had playing it, obviously, because there was no one able to play it at the time. But it was ridiculous how many people they had. They had the stream on Twitch, they had the stream on YouTube, they had the stream at the top of your activity feed on Twitter. Any social media, you couldn't get away from it. And I think that they was trying to build that kind of momentum. Everything that I seen on social media yesterday, I know Asim said that a lot of people was kicking off, but I actually, because it's obviously I just follow completely different people, and my interest in Warzone is quite low. So maybe I'm not following the kind of accounts that have that. But by all accounts, in my activity feed, it seemed quite successful. A lot of people actually enjoyed it. So they're probably trying to capitalize on that kind of boom. So them having no access to the servers and things like that. I mean, it would be a pain in the ass if you couldn't get onto like the likes of Team Deathmatch, if that's what you was into. You had no interest in Warzone, but the whole server went down. This is a very good problem for Call of Duty to have at this moment in time. But yeah, by all accounts, it looks like it's going to be something bigger and potentially better. I know they've had a lot of problems over the last couple of days, with, again, weapons being too OP and people can't use them. Or if they are getting used, it's like one shot. You don't have enough time to be able to turn around and reply a shot to the person who was shooting you in the first place. It's just, yeah, hopefully a lot more balancing comes into it for the people who are massively into it. I know Asim plays it pretty much every single night. So for his sake and his sanity, I hope that it's a lot more balanced, so we can actually enjoy the game a little bit more.
Yeah, I think Asim and Co play this game because they don't have much success when it comes to GTA heists. I mean, they get all the way to the end, but Barry lobs himself off of mountains, so it just is what it is. that video still makes me chuckle thinking of it. Just everyone like, yeah, we've done the heist, and you just see a person go off the cliff in the background. Incredible scenes. Anyway, so what do you guys think? Ad says I saw people moaning that it was underwhelming. It was part one of a 3-part thing, says Miss T. Oh, is it a 3-part thing? See, I didn't know that. Mr. Chaos Right Zero of Coin Army fame says, did it actually get nuked? It did. Let me put the video back on the screen while we are chatting. So full screen that bit and just press play on this. So this is the cutscene. So there was a comment in the chat. Let's see if we can find it. Slim Rock says, spend 18 months building towards a nuke event that lasted 10 minutes, followed by a 30-second cutscene. See, I mean, that does. I don't know where to position that, because is that just because the expectations have been set? I mean, this cutscene looks badass to me, but is that because the expectations from Fortnite, their end of season events are usually kind of like, I say interactive, but not really interactive. It's more like it's making you press buttons, like quick time functions, but the ending's gonna happen anyway as planned. So when you killed the big, I can't remember the name of the Magneto-looking bad guy on the last season of Fortnite, but there was all these buses and stuff flying through the air to take this big thing out, and you were kind of just going through the motions. What you were doing, you were given the illusion that you were doing something, but you weren't really doing anything. I don't mind just having a 10-minute sort of boom pow thing, but if that's also then part of like a series of things, then I think that's quite decent. I mean, I'm still open minded. I kind of want to see where they go with the whole thing. How they transition from that, because it's easy for Fortnite. It's you are running around in the same map as someone dressed as a banana, on the same map as someone dressed as Venom, on the same map as fucking I don't know as Master Chief and the Predator kind of thing. There's all of that stuff in there, so it's crazy. It can do whatever it wants. Whereas Warzone, I know it's still not quite normal because it's video games. You have to take it with a pinch, but it's more grounded in reality. So some big nuke going off and then it dropping back in time. Obviously, you have to give a little bit of creative freedom for that. So that reality that you essentially hold on to, essentially not vociferously, but essentially hold on to. You have to kind of let some of that go now because I'm going back in time into the 80s and my WhatsApp is open. Let me kill that bad boy down. Get out of here. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see how they make that transition from now boots on the ground to 80s boots on the ground. How they work that through. If this is part 1 of 3, to see how they go through part 2 and part 3. I'm quite intrigued. Jumping through the comments then. Fallout 5 confirmed, says ads. Kappa. Part 2 was Rebirth Island related. Pretty damn cool. You could see Verdansk blown up in essentially a modified map at night. Part 3 tonight from 8 p.m. The new map. Okay. See, that's pretty cool in that sense. I mean, the fact that everything went down is shit. It is shit. But it's like Bibby said, that's kind of the problem that you want to have. You want something that's so monumental that everyone wants to see it that nobody can play. You'd rather have just nobody playing your game because everyone wants to play your game, as opposed to nobody playing your game because it's shit. So if you're gonna have a problem, it's kind of a good one. I mean, it's not a good one. It's still a problem, but it's good to see. And the fact that they've dragged it out over 3 days, well, I say dragged, that implies negatively. The fact that they've spread it out over 3 days, I quite like the idea of that. I mean, after we've seen it from start to finish, I'll judge it at that point. But at this point in time, I'm happy to see where they go with it. It's some sort of time loop type thing. That is the theory, says Mr. T. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but then I'm not a negative ninny lol. Yeah, you are. But like a time loop, I mean, that's the thing. I want to see how they kind of build that in, because obviously you have to take it with a pinch. It's a video game. Because you play Call of Duty World at War, that's it, you're in World War II. You play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that's it, you're in modern day Afghanistan. You play Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I mean, I actually didn't play through the story mode of that, but you get the idea. Warzone is you are playing now, kind of modern day boots on the ground thing, and you can't just go back to the 80s. If you were going to go play a Black Ops game, you would play a different game, so you would just instantly accept that it's a different story. So I'm intrigued to see how they do that, or whether they just go, fuck it, it's a video game. If you want it to be different things, you just have to accept it and move on, because I mean that's kind of what it is, really. But yeah, I want to see where they go with it. God forbid people have different opinions, says Slim Rock. All good. I just said I'm not a negative and didn't direct anything at you. If anyone didn't enjoy and found it underwhelming, cool. I could say Fortnite events are essentially people running around watching a video game. But hey, millions enjoyed it. You're both negative. Get out of here. This nuke event is just a 2 or 3 day event. In the long run, really doesn't mean much. What's more important is that the changes to the game hasn't had a significant map update since its inception. This is what it desperately needs. Also, like Bibi said, weapon balancing, although I get the feeling there will always be metas in this game. I think it's part of Infinity Ward / Raven's DNA. Absolutely. I think that's it. Like that bit that was said a minute ago about changing games, if you want to play in the 80s, you just stick in Black Ops disc. If you want to play in the nows, you just stick in the Modern Warfare disc. You want to play older games, stick in World War II or whatever. Whereas Warzone, being that continued service game, has to bridge those gaps. So I want to see how they do that. Not that I'll judge them for it, because they've got to change the story regardless. If not, it will just be Modern Warfare ad nauseum. So I am, from my side, from a social standpoint, I want to see their creativity of how they deliver that. But yeah, absolutely. The game definitely needs an intervention of sorts, and I really like this. My issues with Fortnite is that the map evolves so fast and so what's the word I'm looking for? Incredibly, in terms of its volume of changes, that you can play Fortnite now when it's not the same game that you fell in love with, and that's kind of, it's good for some things because you're not getting, it's not tedious. You're not playing the same things over again. But sometimes change can be tedious. So you can play the same map forever ad nauseum, but you can play it with changes ad nauseum. So I like the fact that this is an updated map. It's a new map, but it's like got the ghosts of the map that was there previously. I say ghosts because it's actually it's earlier than it, so it's not necessarily ghosts. It's the opposite of a ghost, echoes in time kind of thing. So I kind of like that vibe. I kind of like the way that they've done this. They've gone for something new. They are trying something different, but also giving you a little bit of something, to keep you there, holding your hand whilst you make the transition. I do quite like that. Return of the Matt says, how many people just check their WhatsApp? I did. My bad. My bad. If it's not Slack, it's WhatsApp. So yeah, someone check all.
Slack's always the killer for me. Whenever I'm watching your PUBG stream and you hear Slack going, I'm like, what the fuck? Looking at my phone, no message. Look at my PC, it's not synced. Okay.
Yeah, my bad. Rise. Hey, Rise. Those things, dude. Welcome in. Sup, lads. And on PC, by the way, I was on 1 hour before it happened, just so I could make sure I was on. Once the time came around, I got fully kicked off the game because of a playlist update. It started at 8, and I only got to experience it fully by 11:25. Typical Activision, early billions for a game, and couldn't anticipate something like this happening. See, that is a shit show. I understand that. I do understand that. And I understand the frustrations at the dev, and I understand the dev side of it, kind of thing. But yeah, that stuff is the stuff that the video games world kind of needs to get past, is people sitting there and making time for an event and then just getting it. Oh, wow, it's just one of those things. Sorry. Okay, fine. Okay, it was one of those things. Sorry, fine this time. But when Verdansk 1980s goes back to the future or back to the past or whatever in its next update, hopefully they can try to factor that in again. I mean, the fact that I saw, I think Stone Mountain, who's an FPS content creator, tweeted yesterday that he had a record for his most concurrent viewers. I saw Benny Central, who is one of the hosts of Xbox's content and a COD creator. He had his most viewers, I think most viewers and most concurrent viewers and most comments on a stream yesterday. And I don't know whether it was just banter or not, but Doc's stream went down and he said he was on his way to getting like 200 million thingy or whatever. I don't know if it was just Doc numbers or what.
200 million.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if it means like 20 whatever 200,000 people, and if he's never had that before or whatever. Anyway, it was big for everyone. So I understand that it can be unprecedented for developers, absolutely. But now they have a bit of a precedent. So hopefully they put stuff in place so that they work to that precedent for next time. Yeah, it might be bigger again, but as long as they keep building it. The shit thing is when developers go, oh, it's going to get busy, so let's put an extra 10% capacity on the server, and it's like, you do realize that it's probably going to be 400%. 10%, you might as well not bother. Okay, it's all gone wrong. So hopefully they work towards it. But yeah, that is frustrating as feck, because you can imagine if it was PUBG doing that kind of thing. I mean, I've got a fucking PUBG crate on the wall there. I've got a PUBG hat there and all the shit in front of me. If that was PUBG, I'd be sat there with fucking big bag of Doritos, big can of, let's get the sponsors involved. Let's get Muscle Moose energy drink. I say sponsors. They don't sponsor us, by the way. They give us free stuff. But yeah, get big cans of Muscle Moose and stuff there. Some Muscle Moose chips and whatever. Yeah, you get everything sat there. back in my armchair, headset on, everyone in the party getting ready to play, bit of Discord action, and then PUBG goes down. I would be fuming. So yeah, that's just kind of part of the course for video games at the moment. So it's shit. But yeah, hopefully we'll move past that. Anyway, aside from that, I heard you chuckling a minute ago, babe. What were you chuckling at?
I've seen Dex's comment. As long as you're enjoying it, I play with Oz and in Dominator every night. Never had an argument with Oz in the past. Warzone changes that. I have never even had a cross word said about R2. Oz is like the nicest person I have ever met in my life. And I can't imagine him ever getting angry either. He's just far too laid back.
Nah, that's bullshit. I saw Oz starting a fight with himself in a mirror. He's absolutely aggressive. so yeah, it's just lies. It's all lies.
I fucking love that man so much.
He's incredible. He's incredible. Map refresh was needed, and now it's about constant weapon balancing. Should be interesting fun. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the worry I have for Warzone is the balancing. But that's not the worry as such, but it's because they need to be faster with it. I mean, I haven't played Call of Duty, even though I'm saying I'm going to jump back on it. I haven't played it for about 8 months now. It's probably more like 6 months. It was probably 4 months before when I was saying 6 months, but it probably is more like 6 months since I last played it. But even I know, like, there was Car 98 was overpowered. I don't know if it still is. And then it was like the FFAR, FAR, and the AUG kind of thing. I don't play the game, but I know these weapons are overpowered. And that's because they've been going on for so long that... And there was something before that as well. Everyone's saying nerf the whatever. There's always weapons that need to be nerfed. And I think that they're just a bit slow to react to that stuff. And then very early on in the game, there was the C4 stuff where a vehicle could just drive past you lob and detonate a C4, and boom, that's it. You're just dead straight away. Okay, that's it. Great, nice. No warning. There was no the blast was big enough to take out the vehicle, but not big enough to take out the person that just threw it, and yeah, all sorts of weird shit. So the meta balancing stuff, that's always going to be an issue. But I think that's not necessarily the biggest thing that's going to plague them. It's either going to be content. The game is either going to get a bit stale and they're not going to be good with their ideas or their map evolution or whatever, or cheaters. And that's the biggest one, is cheaters. If the game can get 200 million people in Doc's Arena on YouTube last night, or not because his stream died, if the game can get that big, then... cheaters were already looking at it. Now they're going to be like, cha-ching! Okay, let's put a lot more focus on this because a lot more people are going to come in and start playing it. So we've got a lot more audience. All these noobs that are going to start playing it again, and they're going to be playing against people that have been playing it for 12 months, 13 months now. Okay, they're going to invest in cheats because it's the shit of the game. So yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing, is can they keep up? Not with just the demand for the servers and overloads and that, not just with the demand for balancing out the meta, but the demand for keeping the game fair for all the people that play it fairly when there's absolute edgelord cheaters in the games. That's going to be difficult. Where do we go to? Where do we get to? I think the problem for me is how long it's taken. Fortnite are churning these events out left, right, and center. Other than Halloween, we've really had nothing for a year and a half. See, I don't mind that too much because I think like Fortnite was in its groove, and Fortnite did have massive delays. Like I remember the season before the superhero season, it was delayed. Like the end of it was delayed by like 3 months, and that's quite a long time for the length of a Fortnite kind of season. Whereas Warzone got released at the start of a pandemic, so I think them being so delayed, they've not said it, they've not had to say it because the game got carried, obviously, by the fact that a lot of people were playing at home, but the fact that people that playing at home not only carried the game, that was almost it was almost a double-edged sword, because people were sat playing the game at home every day more than they usually would be, because they're not going to the pub or the cinema or football or whatever. And now it's like, for fuck's sake, we need some new content. And meanwhile, Activision like, oh shit, everything that would have taken us 6 weeks is now taking us 6 months. So I think they probably would have had some of this stuff earlier if it hadn't have been for the pandemic. So I don't mind giving them a bit of a free pass with that one. I would be surprised if it takes them that long to iterate again. I think this time next year or something like that. You'll get the new game in October, and then 6 months after that, you'll get the Warzone, and then you'll get the new game in October, and 6 months after that, you'll get Warzone. And I think they'll be in that sort of cycle, trying to give each launch a bit of breathing space.
Yeah.
Or they will cycle it in so that you get the new game and Warzone updating at the same time. But yeah,
it's a bit mad though. Like you always say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But clearly there is some balancing issues there. Like this is so top level. But if it's that broken, how hard can it be for them to be able to just say, okay, that's got too much damage, just take that down 200. That's got too much damage, take that down 200. That's not got enough damage, up that to 100. Like I don't know how these things work. But if the metas are there, how do you fix them? Like obviously, me and you will never know that. I imagine most of the people in the chat will never know that either, because none of us are game developers. Unless there is someone in the chat that is a game developer, that'd be fantastic to be able to know. But if something's that blatantly obvious, how do you go about fixing it that quick?
I think, see, for me, I don't understand how they can't do live tests in that sort of sense, because obviously the issue with tests, if you have a separate testing environment, a separate staging environment, you instantly have a problem there. If you've got the live game and you've got a test server, like PUBG does it that way, live game and test server, you can jump on the test server and test some stuff out. Who's going to jump on the test server? Is that going to be average Joe? No, that's going to be people that are hugely invested into the game. Most people won't be asked about downloading a test server and having to log into that separately and playing games that will get them kills that don't go towards their stats and so on. People that are hugely invested in that game, the hardcore fans, will do that. So test servers are already skewed for me, because you don't have that huge skill gap of noobs and veterans kind of stuff. So I'm thinking, surely you should have cycles where they can just go, okay, the org is a laser, so let's drop the bullet damage by 1. Let's increase recoil by 3. Let's have fucking ADS speed increased by 5, or whatever fucking numbers it is, and then look at the stats then, and then you have it so that you can see, okay, if someone with an M16 versus an AUG, the AUG wins 90% of the time. Okay, if we're changing the stats, okay, the AUG wins 70% of the time at close range, which is kind of where you expect it to win. But then at long range, it goes the other way, whereas before, it stays fucking high 90s or whatever. I just don't understand how they can tweak that shit with just say, look, just an FYI,
yeah,
we will be changing the stats of some guns in some games on the fly. So you don't know, you just pick up your AUG and use it as you normally do. Sometimes you'll have your +3 buff, sometimes you won't, and then just so then they can see, okay, well, that kind of evens out stats in the ways that it should. The AUG should be winning in close range versus an M16, but the M16 should be winning in medium range versus, and just doing that stuff on the fly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't work in it. I'm making it sound like super easy. It's probably not super easy. Yeah, look at this super easy thing to do, and they're going, oh yeah, but you've not thought about A or B or C or D, and I'm like, fuck yeah. So it could be.
I wonder if these guns were a problem in like team deathmatch. Like I imagine if they change something in one, it may change it in the other, maybe. Or is that like that? This is so weird for me to say, but are the guns on a server somewhere being held, and then the guns will just filter through to different places? So you'll have things like team deathmatch, you'll have Warzone, and then everything else in between. Are they using the same spec guns in both of those modes?
Yeah,
so if they change it in one, it'll change it in the other.
They have basically little digital kitmen that go out and stock out the servers before. It's like when you go to a football club and they put all the socks and the boots and stuff out. They have a kitman that goes, oh shit, oh fuck, that's a battle royale gun. That one, take that, get that one back. You know, you're not putting that into team deathmatch. Get out of here.
Yeah. Like I genuinely have no idea, because I know like way back when the akimbo shotguns in like Modern Warfare 2, that was like a fucking proper pain in the ass.
I saw a comment on that the other day. Literally, I think it was like in response to the latest balancing changes, and it was something like, in true Call of Duty fashion, it wouldn't be a Call of Duty update if there wasn't another overpowered shotgun. And I'm just sat there like that dog meme in front of the cake where you see like the fucking napalm bombs, like this dog seen things. It was like as soon as it mentioned shotguns in Call of Duty games, I'm sat there thinking, fucking someone dual wielding shotties.
Yeah, like I still have nightmares about it, but I imagine there always going to be a meta, isn't there? Like we've been having metas in Call of Duty since day one, since you was able to play Call of Duty 2 on the PC. Like it's always going to be there. It's a pain in the ass. It's kind of if you can't beat them, join them mentality. But yeah,
it's so bizarre though, because even that phrase, "there's always going to be a meta," it's so odd. Because like a shotgun should win in a close range fight. If you just hip fire, someone jumps out on you and you just pull the trigger, a shotgun should win against someone that has to fucking spray a pistol or spray an SMG or something like that. But if you go more than 10 meters and you have to quickly go, oh shit, a shotgun, yeah, you're going to hit them and you're going to hurt them. But someone that's actually pumping individual chunks of lead through you rather than a spray of pellets, then okay, it suddenly changes then. And it kind of like, I can see there should be a gun that wins a fight most times in every situation. SMG should be close range, shotgun should be super close range, AR should be longer range, snipers and DMR should be super long range, but people just running around no scope sniping because one hit will melt. Yeah, all right, then if someone shoots you with a sniper rifle in real life from 4 foot away, you are just going to explode into a cloud of red mist, whereas in real life, though, picking up that sniper rifle, it's going to be heavy as fuck. It's going to be like, So it's not, it's, I can see how it's hard to balance. It's just, it always seems to be so incredibly unbalanced that, But then again,
Asim just put there, recent one is the machine gun type OP pistol. I've actually seen the barrel of that. I mean, maybe it was Westy that made a video on it, and I was like, wow, like that is ripping bullets out of that magazine faster than an assault rifle. I don't know if it's going to be more powerful, but at the rate that the bullets are coming out of it, you can imagine it because the rate of fire is so high. If the damage is medium, shall we say, it is just going to rip through someone without you even knowing.
Wow, there's an absolute 200 IQ comment from Slim Rock. Just go with the theory that they put broken weapons in the game on purpose to keep the game in the news and social media. Fucking imagine that being. I mean, we're thinking like Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. They're thinking of Black Ops 27. They're that far ahead. Fuck me, that's incredible. Bateson, hey, I'll read what you're doing. Are you not live? You should be. You were live earlier. I was in your stream. See this Ask Him Uploads podcast is so influential that Bateson has to drop out of his stream to drop in. Good morning, afternoon even. Good afternoon.
His room out yet?
He hadn't.
He's changing all of his displays, wasn't it?
Yeah, he hadn't.
The new mock-up ones looked unreal.
Rumor has it that he's got the big Ruud van Nistelrooy just behind him. Andy Cole over the shoulder.
Yeah. Okay. Headband Torres. That's what he needs behind him.
No, what he needs is Park Ji-sung, just like full on Marseille rouletting Shogun, whilst Dennis Irwin's dropping a shoulder past him like at Carrington Training Ground last year. Nice. They've been posted. Beautiful. Let me jump back through the comments and see what we missed. The hard part with weapons balancing is that there's always a weapon meta in every game. It gets turned up to 1,000 in Warzone because everyone gets their loadout in 5 minutes. Yeah. I think the problem I've done that bit. As long as you enjoy it, I play with Honor. We've done that bit too. This is why I like Apex. They tend to only change a small section of that map, not the whole thing. The issue there, though, for me, and I suppose it's the same with Warzone, is how do you get back to that? Check the Ice Cream Uploads whispers. Okay, what's happening?
It was a link to an Instagram post.
I'll let you.
I can't see it because I need to log in.
Okay. On Instagram.
Let me. Let me take this because I'm using Firefox for ICU. So let me drop it in this one.
I'll go through this, and this is why I like Apex. They tend to change a small section of the map, not the whole thing. I mean, my issue there is that once that's changed, it doesn't then revert. Which, like I say, is not a bad thing, but it's not a perfect thing either. Like Erangel, PUBG, for example, the main map that has remained wholly the same. They have changed some bits of it and so on, but that has remained wholly the same since the beginning. Whereas, Apex is obviously making more significant changes to that map. So, how can I put it? PUBG works in the fact that to give you different experiences, they give you different maps. The shit thing is that means you have multiple different maps, which are multiple different experiences. You can't just have an evolving experience. You've got one or the other, which then means you either get rid of one map entirely or you go for multiple maps alongside each other. And that's where you get the issues that PUBG has now. The reason PUBG put bots and stuff in there to the game is, one, to make it so that people can play against others that are easy to kill, and two, to fill out lobbies, because they have... their queues are split into like 36 different ways, whereas something like Fortnite only splits their queue into 5 different gameplays. So the audience just gets squashed down and so on. But anyway, that's a completely different situation. Nick Merckx had like 400,000 viewers and got kicked 4 games in a row. Ouch. PUBG, etc. have weapons that are better than others, but you've got to find them. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. PUBG does have metas. So the Beryl SLR meta, which has been attempted at being nerfed for the last couple of updates, but they aren't so incredibly balanced. I will still pick up different guns that aren't the Beryl or the SLR, because I know that if I get my shots, I can still put them down. If I'm hitting head and chest, then I've got a good chance. Recent metas include the Diamati pistols, DMR, FFR, Mac 10, AUG, Kar 98, still one-shot kill, but to be fair, it requires a little bit of skill. M16's current meta. Wow, it's like old school COD if the M16's back. I'd say the biggest issue with Warzone is skill-based matchmaking. Even though they deny it, you have to use the meta in order to not get destroyed in sweaty lobbies. Fix that and you fix most of the game. They're pretty quick at making those changes now. As a regular player, it feels longer, but they usually hotfix it in 2 or 3 days. Recent one is the machine gun type OP pistols. Annoying? Yes. Personally, can't get angry about it, as it's a game I haven't put more than £10 in for the first battle pass and got hundreds of hours of enjoyment out of it. That's fair. That is a fair comment. Cold War and Warzone are on different engines, so when they've brought Cold War guns in, there's generally always been tuning issues. I mean, that's a good point. It's a good point. The issue nowadays, compared to back in the days, at least back then, you could still compete using the weapons than the OP ones. In Warzone, anything that's OP is abused, and if you use anything else, you basically can't compete. I've got Torres with Vidic licking the grass behind. Fuck you.
Fucking love Torres.
Yeah. He's all right. He's all right. Okay. So what's this? What's this link? Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
So I can load it on mine. You need to log in to be able to view it.
I'm viewing it. I'm trying to get it to unmute.
Oh. I'm pushing. He's one shot. I'm down. Pick me up. Yo, I got my AC 130, boys. Let's go.
He's one shot.
I had to fucking drop the audio on that because everyone's ears rip. Damn, that was loud.
Right, I've got to go.
Get out of here.
I have to go.
Get out of here.
It's been a pleasure, guys.
Well, it hasn't though, has it, mate? It has. It's been.
Yeah, we've done the biggest news story of the day. Yeah. I've said hello to everyone. Hope you all have a fantastic day. It's nice and sunny out there. Go and get some vitamin D. Is it D?
Vitamin D. It is D.
Vitamin D. Go and get some vitamin D and have a fantastic day. Until then, guys, Grape's still here, but I'm staying frosty.
Yeah, you are. Bye-bye. That's it. Bib's gone. Bib has personal things to do. We did know that he had to be off by 12:30-ish. So there we go. Down to 1. There only 1 remains, and I'm getting emails. Wow, everything's still open. So you're getting all of the noises through the PC this morning. Let me kill that off. Get out of here. So yeah, first story of the day: Warzone servers struggle as Verdansk is finally nuked. So there we go. We'll put a pin in that. We'll keep you updated. Obviously, there's more updates tonight, so we'll let you know how that goes tomorrow. Rip eardrums, says Gary. I know. I didn't expect it to be that loud. I was like looking for the volume thing, but Instagram in browser, at least for me, doesn't give me a volume thing. So it's either all the volume or none of the volume. So I dropped all of the volume in stream. So the stream levels might be different now. So if it is a little bit of a problem going forward, then let me know. I'll drop them. But I think we're about back to where we were. So let's jump ahead into the next story. This one is one that I saw last night. I'm not convinced, but do let me know your thoughts. Take that off screen. Do let me know your thoughts on this one. As Steph Nunneley at VG247 says, Sony could soon announce a PlayStation Plus video pass. So it's possible Sony is about to announce a new video service called PlayStation Plus Video Pass. Does anybody need another video service that you're paying for? Because according to a report from VGC on the company's Polish website, a listing along with a logo appeared for PlayStation Plus Video Pass. The description stated the service is, quote, a new benefit available for a limited time on PlayStation Plus. Oh, interesting. Okay. A new benefit. So maybe included. The trial service dates were listed as April the 22nd, 2021 to April the 2nd, April the 22nd, 2022. So a full year, April 22nd from one year to the next. And it will be made available to all PS Plus users in Poland. The listing was eventually removed, but featured promo images for Sony movies such as Bloodshot, Venom, and Zombieland Double Tap. Back in March, Sony announced it will be closing down the film and TV shows section of its PlayStation Store come August 31st. PlayStation users will no longer be able to buy or rent films or television series from the platform. Any content already purchased will still be available. So it's possible this new service is one of the reasons Sony is shutting down the ability to purchase media from the PS Store. We'll update this post if more information becomes available or the news is confirmed by Sony. That article from Steph Nunneley at VG247. If it does get updated, we will keep you updated too. But anybody interested in watching content? Anybody interested in getting some free videos through PS Plus? And if Sony are giving us those videos through PS Plus, why are they giving us those? Is this a Game Pass alternative? Okay, Game Pass are giving you all of their games. We can't sustain that, so we can give you films and stuff. Is that what we think? What do you reckon? Let me just update the discussing now. Control C. Text. Paste. Done. Show. Pow. PlayStation Plus Video Pass. Yeah, it's included with PS Plus apparently. Didn't Sony just make a deal with Netflix? Was that for like Spider-Man and things? Oh no, I'm thinking of they've just made a deal with Disney as well, I think. I saw last night. I mean, I don't have the source. It was something that I didn't click through, and I just saw it on social media. But I'm pretty sure I saw Disney have Disney Plus. There we go. I'm pretty sure Disney had signed a deal with Sony to get things like the Spider-Man movies and other movies, basically the movies that were in the periphery of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, onto Disney Plus 2. So it's an interesting one. Sony clearly realized that they have a lot of money, enough to push subscription services in their products. So their products have a lot of value within them. They're using that to put them onto the likes of Disney Plus and the likes of PS Plus. But it's the reasoning for it. I mean, if they were just going for PS Plus, I understand that. That's okay. Game Pass has already been shown off to be one of the biggest deals in gaming. You can't argue how much value there is in Xbox Game Pass for that kind of fun. I mean, you can argue if you don't play any of those games. And the people have successfully argued. Spike did mention it on the stream previously that he had Game Pass, it wasn't for him, so he got rid of it because yes, whilst it's cheap for what you get, there was nothing there that he would play. A lot of the stuff that he plays are annual releases which aren't featured in Game Pass, so it was kind of irrelevant to him. So okay, Game Pass doesn't suit everyone. It suits a lot of people though. PS Plus gives you a couple of games a month, which arguably are inferior when you compare them to the games that you get on Game Pass. That said, PS Plus have increased the quality of their games recently, and if they're putting movies and other functions on that too, then is that a way at getting a little bit back on Game Pass? Game Pass doesn't give you films, but Sony does. Interesting. I thought all their films were going on Netflix. They could be. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Probably Sony going to be just Sony Pictures movies at the beginning, I would imagine, with more added later. Sony movies going to Disney once the contract with Netflix is up. I saw this morning about the Sony MCU stuff that's going on Disney. Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting thing. Because, like, I understand them putting their content on PS Plus Video Pass. But if you're giving it to Disney Plus as well, you're kind of weakening your proposition. I know one of the conversations that you will have is, have you got Disney Plus? No, I've got Netflix and Sky and whatever, so I don't need Disney Plus. I know that there are things on Disney Plus like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and other films and other content that will keep coming through the summer that you can't get on others, or you won't be able to get for a while at least on other platforms. So Disney know that keeping their content on their platform is a good way to get people to buy into those, because you get past that. Well, I've got Netflix. Why do I need that? I've got something to watch already. Why do I need that? Disney is giving them events and experiences that could only be shared there, whereas Sony are putting their content everywhere. It just seems a bit bizarre. Unless that's plans for bigger things to come. Could Sony be looking to use that as part of their plans going forward? Okay, we can't give away video games for free on the service, but we can use our back catalogue of films. Maybe they will do it with... Maybe they'll be a bit more forward-thinking. That could be Sony's way of getting past the movie release situation. So Disney have started the trend of obviously releasing films digitally, and now cinemas are releasing films digitally and online in close proximity. Mortal Kombat, good shout. So could it be a case of this is Disney's way, this is Sony's way of doing that? Sony will allow PlayStation Plus Video Pass users to get early looks, first look, discounted looks. I don't know what it would be of the new releases alongside the cinema releases. It's interesting. That's the deal. They have a current contract with Netflix, and once that's up, all Sony, including MCU stuff, goes to Disney Plus. PlayStation are probably doing this as a freebie, as they know that people won't sub to a dedicated Sony movie sub like they would for Disney Plus or Netflix. Most of the movies are pretty old now. Yeah, it does make sense. But either way, whatever the reasoning for it is, if you are a PlayStation Plus user, you get a little bit extra for free. I said for free, I mean, you're paying for it because it's your PS Plus subscription. But, you know, if you're paying it already, it's an added extra. And everyone likes something extra, so nice. Anyway, let's, sticking with Sony-ish, jump into our next little bit of news. And this one... is kind of a little bit left field. Jay Peters at The Verge says Gran Turismo will be featured in an Olympic competition this year. It's part of the upcoming Olympic Virtual Series. So this one, I haven't read this article, so I don't know what angle this is going to take, but I remember having a conversation with the British Esports Association and a number of people from across the spectrum of esports in the UK. And it was around the International Olympic Committee basically saying that video games will not be recognised as sports. Esports is not sport. Was a conversation that they'd had previously. And we had like an in-depth conversation of, is it sport? Is not sport? I mean, esports could be argued it's not sport because it's not physical and you're not whatever. But then again, other sports don't require you to be fully physical. And there's a lot of problem solving. There's loads of mental and whatever. So there was the whole debate of whether esports should be considered a sport. So the fact that it's been involved in the comparison, nice words, conversation was the word I was looking for around the Olympics is interesting. Anyway, let's jump in and see what it actually says. So the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, has announced a new series of virtual sporting events that will take place ahead of the Tokyo Olympics called the Olympic Virtual Series. No, this doesn't mean that League of Legends just became an Olympic sport, but what's happening is that the IOC is partnering with 5 international sports federations to host virtual competitions in games featuring their sports. The Olympic Virtual Series will kick off on May 13th and will run through to June 23rd. Here's the lineup of federations and what games they'll be hosting at the event. Hosting events for, as we know it so far. So there's the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, which I think is French, will host a Gran Turismo competition. The Union Cycliste Internationale will host a competition for Zwift, which offers virtual cycling and running courses to use with indoor exercise. The World Baseball Softball Confederation will host a competition for Konami's eBaseball Powerful Pro Baseball 2020. World Sailing will host a competition with a virtual regatta, an online sailing and regatta sailing simulation game. And World Rowing doesn't officially have a game attached to it yet. A press release only said vaguely that there would be an open format. A PR spokesman tells The Verge that the details about the World Rowing competition are forthcoming. There are still many things we don't know about the Olympic virtual series. It's still unclear who will be competing. How can you try to sign someone up to compete? What prizes will be offered? Will somebody become a Gran Turismo gold medalist? And which events will happen when? The IOC promises that more details will be announced soon. More sports could get involved in future virtual series. FIFA, the International Basketball Federation, the International Tennis Federation, and World Taekwondo have confirmed their excitement and commitment to exploring inclusion in future editions of the OVS, the IOC has said. Interesting. I find it so bizarre that it will kick off on May the 13th, but there's absolutely no way that people know how they're going to be signing up to be a digital Olympian. Let me just get the discussing now quickly on screen, although I don't think this is an article that will stay on for too long. Let's put video game Olympics question mark. Boom. And boom. There we go. Does anyone want to be an Olympian? Anyone? Would you like to go to the Olympics? And when I say go to the Olympics, I mean stay at home, but be involved in the Olympics. Imagine being able to say that you were a gold medalist because of the way that you play eBaseball Powerful Pro Baseball 2020. That's badass. Actual gold medal just sat on your shelf in your living room. Crazy. What in the world, says Gary? Gran Turismo is so dull these days. It gets more. I get that it's more realistic now, but it just doesn't feel like fun to play for me personally when you compare it to Forza Motorsport. I see that. And that's kind of the trade-off. Is do you have to play games that mirror Olympics sports to be playing Olympics games? This is the bit that this is where I find the trade-off, and this is where it becomes an issue for me. Okay, you've got a Gran Turismo race. I mean, is car racing part of the Olympics? I don't think it is. But like cycling, and like sailing and rowing, okay, they're all Olympic sports. So I can understand why those are being like indoctrined as video games in the video game Olympics. But that's just the Olympics, not video game Olympics. Video games are the likes of Call of Duty, are the likes of League of Legends, are the StarCrafts, and I mean games that I don't even watch, but I would say those are your competitive video games. Surely, if the International Olympic Committee wanted to embrace video games, it should be merging itself to incorporate video games rather than choosing the video games that support itself. It seems backwards. For me, when I read it like that, it's nice that video games are being incorporated into the Olympics, but it seems like the Olympic Committee is saying, okay, we want you to show us off rather than we want to fully embrace you. And I don't like it when we get to that point. Just show me real world rowing at that point. Show me real world sailing at that point. Because if I want to see video game competition, I'm not going to be watching virtual regatta. I know some people will, and I know this is me being a little elitist based on my own personal opinions, but more people would be interested to see the Olympic League of Legends finals than the virtual regatta finals. And I don't watch either of them. I'm saying this from someone on the outside. So love the idea that we're going to have a virtual Olympics. Don't love the idea that it's the Olympics just going, okay, this is close to what we do already. So that's fine. It shows that this comes from me having those conversations that I was talking about the British Esports Association previously. There's a bit of a disconnect in terms of real world sports being quite snobby to esports. And this kind of, whilst it's a step closer, it still feels like there's elements of that. Okay, we can accept that has some similarities to sports, so we'll take that one. And yeah, it just shows that it's not quite there yet for me. Olympic sports can change every 4 years. They can. Gary says, I'd be a little embarrassed if I said I had an Olympic gold medal for playing Mario Kart 8. I wouldn't. Night out, yeah, fucking Olympic gold medal around my neck. Yeah, Olympic gold medalist, Mario Kart, mate. I would, yes, that would be all over my CV. I mean, other games, not so much, but Mario Kart, yes, definitely would take that. Anyway, let's move ahead. Like I said, we're not going to spend too much on this one, but there could be video game stuff around the Olympics. And do you know what? it could be a big thing because the Olympics. It could be a case of nobody is attending the Olympics. Has a final word been said on that? I know that because of COVID, people might not have been able to attend the Tokyo Olympics. That was the last thing I heard last week, the week before. I don't know whether it has been agreed or not that they will not be having people, but at least people will be able to watch the video game one. So there you go. That's video games showing the real world how it's done, even though it's knockoff versions of their games. Anyway, speaking of games, that's what we're here for. Let's jump into our final news story. And this is something that we have touched on previously. I think even earlier this week, we were speaking about Microsoft. No, it was yesterday. We were talking about U-turns. Yesterday, we covered up how the European Super League had a big U-turn, how Sony had a U-turn when it came to cancelling the PS3 and the PS Vita stores. Yesterday, we also mentioned that Xbox did a U-turn of their own. They wanted to charge people for Xbox Live Gold memberships. They do that anyway, but they wanted to boost the price of that service. Essentially, the way we looked at it was kind of a move forcing people into getting a Game Pass subscription. I mean, the price hike was so severe that you might as well have just got Game Pass. It was like an extra quid or something like that. People were pissed off saying, we don't want Game Pass. Game Pass doesn't suit everybody. So Xbox went, okay, we fucked up. We'll fix it. We'll turn it back. And not only that, but they offered something extra within that. And that is this. As Tom Ivan at VGC says, Xbox Live Gold is no longer required to play free-to-play multiplayer games. Online multiplayer unlocked for over 50 titles, including Fortnite, Warzone, and Rocket League. So for those that don't know, if you have an Xbox and you want to play Fortnite, you can. Fortnite is free to play. You can just download it into your Xbox and play. No, you can't, actually. No, you can't. You can't play it online. You need an Xbox Live Gold membership. The game is free. It's free to play, but you have to pay to access the service to play the free game. Bit of a shit show. On PlayStation, you download Fortnite. You can just play Fortnite for free because the game is free and you don't have to have a PS Plus membership to play Fortnite online. And the same with Warzone, same with Rocket League, and so on. But that has now changed for Xbox. Xbox has realized that, okay, it's not the best way to go. So let's change to fit the best shape of the industry. So GG's for them for doing that. Anyway, it came off the back of one U-turn to correct one issue, and they've corrected another one with this. So an Xbox Live Gold subscription is no longer required to play free-to-play multiplayer games on Xbox consoles. Microsoft has confirmed. Until now, Xbox Live Gold has been required to play all Xbox games online, including free-to-play titles like Warzone, Fortnite, and Rocket League, which are available at no extra cost on rival platforms. Microsoft said in January that it intended to drop the Xbox Live Gold requirement for free-to-play games as soon as possible in the coming months. And starting yesterday, Microsoft said all Xbox players will be able to access online multiplayer at no charge for a library of over 50 free-to-play games that support online multiplayer. It added in an FAQ, in addition to online multiplayer, we're unlocking looking for group with the April 2021 system update. And party chat is available at no cost for all free-to-play games on Xbox Series X, S, and Xbox One. Xbox 360 players can use the free party option available through the Xbox mobile app. So these are the free-to-play games. I'm not going to read through them. I'm just going to keep scrolling. You can pick out what you want to see. Nice. So Halo Infinite will also be a free-to-play multiplayer experience when the game is released for Xbox consoles in fall/autumn of 2021. In January, Microsoft reversed plans to increase the price of a 6-month Xbox Live Gold membership by 50%. That was it, to $60. Quote, we messed up today and you were right to let us know, it said. Connecting and playing with friends is a vital part of gaming, and we failed to meet the expectations of players who count on it every day. As a result, we have decided not to change Xbox Live Gold pricing. We're turning this moment into an opportunity to bring Xbox Live more in line with how we see the player at the center of their experience. Microsoft added, for free-to-play games, you will no longer need an Xbox Live Gold membership to play those games on Xbox. GG's. GG's. That is a good move. There is no negative to that. I mean, if you wanted to dig, you could say it should have been free all along, but it's free now. GG's. Love that. Love that. Realizing when you've dropped a bollock, fixing it, and then going the extra mile to make it right. Yes, please. We'll have more of that, please, Microsoft. So fair play to them. Fair play. Good decision by Xbox, says Gary, to do this. The way it was before was very odd. It seems archaic. It seemed like, how can I put it? It seemed like a Microsoft decision rather than an Xbox decision. Microsoft has always been one of those super businessy firms. I mean, it is the most businessy firm. Well, maybe Amazon's in there now. But from my life, Microsoft has always been the business, the one that makes all of the money, the one that takes all of the competition, the one that makes all of the revenue and profits and so on. So it seems like a Microsoft decision. Xbox, particularly over the last 7 years, has been a very different business, trying to figure out what's best for their consumers. So that seems like a very, very good Xbox decision, getting rid of a Microsoft legacy decision. So it works for me. I like it. Microsoft are late to the party on this, which is poor show, but it's showing their commitment to the consumer and keeping in front of Sony during this console gen. I mean, absolutely. Sony, I have a PS5 there. That's my choice for the gen. Or it was. It's my first choice. I have both a Brinjar. Welcome in. Although I will type this. I don't know if this command still works. Let me just check. There you go. English only, please. Sorry, we only speak English. I mean, we barely speak that too. But thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, I opted for PlayStation to be where I started the generation. I will get an Xbox Series X at some point or an S. And it was always gonna come. It was always gonna follow. But everything that Xbox has done has absolutely confirmed that I will get myself a Series S or X. And this just adds to that. So GG's, boys. So we like to finish the show with a little bit of a positive, or ideally something that's free for you guys. I mean, most people will already have the functions there through Xbox Live Gold anyway. But if you have an Xbox and you want to play some free-to-play games, maybe you want to get involved in Warzone. Obviously, that was the lead story. There is a big hype around Warzone right now. Sorry, I liked you, even though I don't understand shit about what you say. Okay. Yeah, even though Warzone is... No, not even though Warzone. Warzone is having a big hype right now. Obviously, we've got the transition for the Verdansk nuke, so there's a lot of content around that. If you want to play on your Xbox, you've got an Xbox Live around, then, well, you can get involved for free now. You don't have to get yourself Xbox Live Gold just to get involved. So big moves. Nice. But that's it. That's the last of the stories. I know we started off with 2 men, but we finished off with me. Thank you for sticking around, though. Nice. Okay, we are going to drop off. There could be an additional stream today, so if you want to see any State of Decay 2, we did play some of that yesterday. We played with some of the community guys as well, so that was good to see. So if you want to see an extra stream, there could be an additional stream. We are going to wrap up and go offline now, though I do have some things to do, so do feel free to drop a follow on the channel if you are new here, and we could be back with a little bit of State of Decay. Nice. We could be. No promises. We could be. So make sure you drop a follow for that. Like I said, we could be back a little bit later on. If not, we will be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning with the next episode of The Scoop. We do go live at 10 a.m.-ish each and every single weekday. If you want to get involved with The Scoop, you can do, because Mr. Gary Clark has just put the links in the chat. You can see the link to our Discord and the link to our socials. That is where you can share the news with us. If you see a story that you want us to discuss, use those links in the chat. And then just all we need from you is a link through to the story plus your thoughts and impressions, and we can give you our thoughts and impressions the next time we do a scoop, which, like I said, is 10 a.m.-ish tomorrow. Before then, I'm going to wrap things up. Nice. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around for the show. Appreciate you for being here for yet another scoop. And Brinjar, thank you very much for the follow, even though you don't know what I'm saying. I appreciate it very, very much. Everyone else, have yourselves a lovely... Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to raid someone. I know we don't have the biggest number of viewers right now, but we're going to raid someone, because I'm not sure how long it will be before we jump on. If you want to get yourself a few extra channel points to spend on the channel, though, make sure you stick along with the raid as we go say hello to a friend of the channel, and we could see you this afternoon for some State of Decay 2. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic day and stay frosty.